All right, my wonderful friends, we are back live after a brief hiatus yesterday. I don't know why I'm talking like that. But anywho, right now we do have some severe weather that is currently hitting the states of South Dakota as well as Nebraska. I try to find some live cams there, but it's all pictures. Maybe, if we see some pictures that'll work, we'll use them, okay? But there's the current radar. Right now, I believe, how many severe thunderstorm warnings do we currently have in effect? Okay, we have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings currently in effect, you guys. So we're going to go over that, but we're also going to talk about the severe weather that's to come over the next few days, in addition to the flood threat, and in addition to a major heat wave that is going to be, or actually the National Weather Service has called it an extreme heat wave that's going to be hitting portions of the West. And yeah, we're talking about the western half of the country, but especially the desert Southwest is going to be dealing with this severe weather. So obviously we have a lot to talk about today. I just want to make sure that I'm actually live, which I should be. God willing. But yeah, you guys, obviously we have a lot to talk about today, so we have to jump into it right now. Let me make sure that everything is a-okay over here. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is YouTube is tripping sometimes. You get me? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it doesn't really give you the right thing that's actually live. Anywho, listen, if you don't know who I am, my name is meteorologist Jessica Fernandez. I feel kind of corny when I say that. You guys see it up here, meteorologist. My name is Jessica Fernandez, okay? I'm a meteorologist that worked on TV news for 7 years. Now we started this YouTube channel so that we can go ahead and talk about all things weather, severe weather, obviously, which is what's going on right now, okay? And what's going on, Carrie? Hey, do me a favor and keep them storms away from Omaha. Let's see, Omaha. Well, I can't promise you much, Carrie, because let's see. Okay, these severe thunderstorm watches, they're stretching, with time more and more towards the east. Okay, and so these severe thunderstorm watches that are currently in effect, this could potentially come your way. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. My friend Carrie, thank you so much for joining me today. All right. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on right now. Let me come back over here. This is the current radar. Right now, we have got 4 severe thunderstorm warnings currently in effect. And by the way, Carrie, I don't think we're not expecting right now tornadoes. The tornado threat is actually very isolated for you, Carrie. So I don't really foresee that. Can we potentially see a tornado warning somewhere in here where we're expecting the severe weather? Yes, but is it the main threat today? No. Okay, so right now, today, the main issue today with the severe weather that's currently going on right now is this right here. The wind threat. So we're talking about winds over 60 miles per hour in the black shaded area here. Here we're talking about winds that could exceed 75 miles per hour in your case. Obviously, it's still a dangerous situation, right? But the tornado threat for today is not huge. Again, isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out. We can quickly go over some of the severe thunderstorm warnings that we currently have in effect. Let's go ahead and let's see, because this one's about to I'm cool with naders just keep the 100-mile-per-hour winds out of here. Okay, it should be around 75. I don't know if that's much better, but it's still strong winds nonetheless. All right. And let me see. Again, I'm just double checking that everything is good with the stream, right? I'm not lagging or anything. I'm good because we just started this up like a couple seconds ago, a couple minutes ago. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. And guys, we're going to talk about this, but we're also going to talk about what we're expecting over the next few days, okay? Because the next few days, we're also obviously talking about some severe weather that could be on the way, okay? So we're talking about areas a little bit further towards the east for tomorrow. And then even on Saturday, we're also talking about severe weather that could be possible. Even if we're not expecting severe weather, we're expecting rain. We're expecting the chance of seeing some flash flooding as well over the next few days too. We're gonna talk about the southeast as well. We're going to talk about the heat wave, the extreme heat wave, according to the National Weather Service, in portions of the western part of the country. Okay, so we're going to talk about everybody, even the Pacific Northwest. We're talking about everybody during this live stream, whether you live in the West, the central part of the country, or the East. Okay, so just to give my people over here in portions of the Southeast some love, because obviously the majority of the activity that we're seeing right now is for areas of the plains. Here's what's going on right now. What's going on, Rafa? Good evening, Jess, he says. And okay, cool. Carrie, I'm good. Okay, perfect. All right. Over here in the Southeast, we've been seeing some severe thunderstorm warnings going on over here. We've also had a threat of seeing some severe weather over here today, but I think that that is going to go down as we head into the rest of the nighttime here, because it's already 8:30 p.m. over here. But yeah, right now, a couple of alerts in effect, but no severe alerts. We just have some rain across Arkansas, across Alabama, across Mississippi, portions of Louisiana, right? Not too far from New Orleans, and portions of northern Florida as well. But obviously, the majority of the activity is up in here, okay, in the plains, in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and especially in Nebraska right now, where we do have several severe thunderstorm watches currently in effect. So I'll go ahead and pause what we have right now so that we can talk about some of the severe thunderstorm warnings. So we'll go over to the first one. Now, this one was issued at 7:23 p.m. right here. Give me a second, because for whatever reason, it doesn't let me click on it. There we go. This was issued at 7:23 Central Time. It expires at 8:30 Central Time. Over here, we're talking about portions of Nebraska. This is going to include Lincoln and Logan counties. And we're talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, half-dollar size hail. Okay, so that's kind of what we've been seeing with these warnings, right? This is going to include Stapleton, Gandy, Logan, Tarbaugh's Lake, Shanklin Bluff, and Hoagland. Okay, so that's one of the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in effect right now. Again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. We have another severe thunderstorm warning here that, why are you not letting me zoom to this warning? Okay, there we go. All right, so we have another severe thunderstorm warning here again. This is in Nebraska. This is going to be in effect until 8:15 p.m. Central Time. It was just issued at 7:26 p.m. And this is for portions of Custer County. And we're talking over here the chance of seeing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail with this. Some places that could be impacted would be Callaway, Oconto, Buckeye, Lodi, Pressey State Wildlife Management Area as well. Okay, so this is right to the north of the I-80 where we're seeing this right now with the severe weather. Let's go to the next severe thunderstorm warning. We're just going over, the warnings that we have in effect right now. This is going to be in effect until 8:15 p.m. This was issued right around 7:30. Is this the right one? No, it's this one. So it's the one right over here over Ord and Arcadia. This is going to include Valley and Sherman counties in Nebraska until 8:15 p.m. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail that's going to be possible over here. We're talking about impacts, for example, to places like Elyria. Hopefully I said that correctly. I don't know. Fort Hartsuff State Park, Ord, Arcadia, and also impacts to North Lope. Okay, and then finally we have the one slightly more towards the west here with this severe thunderstorm warning right here. All right, and this is going to be for Lope, Garfield, and Custer counties until 8:15 p.m. Central Time. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, penny-size hail. We're talking about impacts to, places like Broken Bow, Burwell, Sargent, Ansley, Mason City, Comstock. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And Berwyn, okay? Amongst several other places, but you guys see it over here. We're talking about Nebraska right to the north of the I-80. Now, we do have several severe thunderstorm watches currently in effect, okay? Okay, I'm going to be a stream warrior tonight. I'll join the stream in 30 minutes. Thank you so much, Rafa. Hi, nice to see you today here in Saginaw. What's going on, Quentin? How are you, PQR? Listen, I call you PQR because that's your name. But thank you so much for joining the stream today. the good thing is we're not talking about your area today, so you can take a break, you know? I mean, we're going to talk about your area in a little bit because I'm going to show you guys the severe weather that's going to be on the way to the Great Lakes once again as we head into this weekend. So obviously we're going to talk about that, or actually just the storms in general, right? Because as of right now, we're not really expecting too much in the way of severe weather just yet. Maybe for Sunday into Monday, we might see something in terms of severe weather. But right now, what we're talking about is this area right here with the severe watches currently in effect. By the way, you guys, if you guys are new to the stream, please make sure you subscribe. I'm only one subscriber away right now from 2,810. Listen, 2,810 subscribers. Listen, I'm here. I'm grinding it out here on YouTube. We're going live. All right. We're talking about all the severe weather. Okay. So support me if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. You get what I'm saying? Because I totally get it. Listen, I haven't slept good. Last night, I went to sleep at 1:30 in the morning and I had to get up at 7:30. So don't judge me today. All right. All right. First severe thunderstorm watch that we currently have in effect. Okay. This is for portions of South Dakota. Let me bring up the info. And by the way, we'll also look at the mesoscale discussions and everything like that, right? So we'll start off with this severe thunderstorm watch. Is it this one? No, hold on. And let me make sure that we have the latest frame. There you go. Okay, cool. So this is the very latest frame. So they did update the area. So it's this little box in here that includes Faith, Pierre, Philip, all right? So when it comes to this severe thunderstorm watch, this is going to be in effect. Give me a second. Actually, over here, I think we're in mountain time, right? Hold on. Guys, this part always gets me because it's so difficult to... Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is going to be in effect until 9 p.m. Mountain Time in this part of South Dakota, right? And over here, we're talking about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts that are going to be possible. Isolated large hail events to 1 inch in diameter possible. So that's what we're expecting. The tornado threat remains very low, okay? But the main thing is going to be the chance of seeing severe wind gusts and also the chance of seeing some hail, okay? So there goes the first severe thunderstorm watch, okay? And if you guys want, I know that this is not a very heavily populated area, but we'll still talk about some of the counties that are included in this. We're talking about Meade, Stanley, Corson, Sully, and Hughes. Okay, that's some of the counties that are included in this. All right, now a little bit further down, we have another severe thunderstorm watch that does include south central portions of South Dakota and even into Nebraska. Okay, so right in here is this severe thunderstorm watch. And let's see, let's bring that one up really quickly. I believe it's this one right here. Yeah, so this is going to be in effect until 9 p.m. Central Time, okay? And over here with this particular severe thunderstorm watch, we are talking about the possibility of seeing wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour that are going to be possible, and also isolated large hail events to 1.5 inches in diameter possible as well, with the thunderstorms rolling through this area. So that's the second severe thunderstorm watch. Now let's come over here to the third severe thunderstorm watch currently in effect. Once again, this is for Nebraska. And by the way, you guys, if you're new here, we're going to be talking about the severe weather that's to come. Okay, so there's going to be some severe weather that's going to be possible for areas towards the Great Lakes, right? For areas further towards the east. So if you live further towards the east, we're going to be talking about you as well and what we are to expect over the next few days. Okay, so here is the next severe thunderstorm, and let me take this off because that way you can actually see. Severe thunderstorm watch also here, that is going to be in effect until 1 a.m. Central Time. And with this particular severe thunderstorm watch, we're talking about 75-mile-per-hour winds and hail 1 inch in diameter. Now, this is going to include in Nebraska, Columbus, Norfolk, Grand Island, Edgar, Beatrice, and this is right outside of Omaha. So I have my friend Carrie that's watching me from right outside of Nebraska. Right outside of Omaha, okay? So we're gonna watch. Let's see if we have a severe thunderstorm watch that's gonna eventually be issued for your area. It's not impossible as these storms move towards the south and east. This is the way that the storms are moving right now. So yeah, I do think that eventually my friend Carrie is going to be seeing some severe storms potentially as we head into tonight for the area in Omaha. So if you happen to be watching me from Omaha, just know that you do have that possibility. So there are these severe thunderstorm watches right here, and they just updated some of the areas. We also have and by the way, let me just make sure really quick. Give me 1 second, you guys, because you know this sometimes this program is a little bit ghetto. Okay. So yes, with this larger severe thunderstorm watch that continues to be in effect here, yeah, like I mentioned, well, this could be, yeah, winds up to 75 miles per hour, like we mentioned. Okay, hold on. With this particular watch, the bigger watch here, okay, one thing that I did not mention right here is also that we have the chance of seeing a tornado or two. So it's possible, it's not a huge risk, but it is possible to see an isolated tornado or two in addition to that hail that I'm talking about, and those significant wind gusts that we could also be seeing. Okay. Let's see. Thank you guys for subscribing. Right now I'm only 8 subscribers away from 2,820. So if you want to help me out, subscribe, go ahead, you know. And yeah, really quickly, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that was issued that I'll go to very quickly. It's brand new. And once again, guys, we're going to be talking about more than one area here. We're going to be talking about the severe weather that's to come too. So stick around if you want to know about that, because it is going to be moving towards the east. All right. So we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. And this is for wind gusts between 50. Oh, no, this is not correct. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Now we have this up correctly. Sorry about that. So this is for portions of Texas and also Oklahoma. So we're talking about the panhandle of Oklahoma, panhandle of Texas over here for the following counties. In Oklahoma, this is for Texas and Cimarron counties. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I may not be. And then in Texas, we're talking about Sherman and Dallam counties in Texas. So that's also in the panhandle. This is going to be in effect until 8:45 p.m. We're talking about 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Okay. And this is going to include the following cities or towns: Stratford, Boise City, and Griggs. Once again, we're talking about Texas and Oklahoma here in the panhandle areas. All right. So this is going to be in effect until 8:45 p.m. Okay. So let's see, do we have any mesoscale discussions right now? No, just the chance of seeing some flooding over here, which we know we are in full-blown monsoon season over here. So yeah, very active. Really quick, I'll leave this on while I take a look at the chat really quickly, and then we're going to continue to talk about the threat as we head into the overnight, okay? PDS DJ Chippy, hello, what's going on? Storm is coming, teleported. Why do you always write that in the chat? You can write it in the chat, it's no problem, but what does that mean? Let us know what that means. We need you to decode it, okay? Jason Gates, hi, I'm at the Great Lakes. Okay, we're going to talk about you in a second. If you live further towards the east, whether you live in the southeast, the Great Lakes, the East Coast, these storms are going to eventually go towards your area, so we're going to talk about that threat as well, okay? So give me a second, all right? Let me just look at the chat really quickly. A local area emergency in South Dakota for flash flooding. Okay, hold on. Let me see that. I didn't even... Yeah, because I've been only looking at the severe. Let's see. Is one of these an EEW? Flash flood warning, flash flood warning, flash flood warning. They all look like normal flash flood warnings, but I'm going to look into that in a second, okay? Let me see. That's kind of true. I'm not actually in Omaha. It's just the closest big city. I'm in Iowa, but I can see Omaha from my friend. Okay, so you're in like the Omaha, like metropolitan area. Thanks, Jessica from AZ. What's going on, Carl? We're gonna talk about you too. I'm talking about everybody. Okay, everybody's gonna get their information that they need from the West Coast to the East Coast. Okay, for the next few days. It's pronounced Beatrice. The locals corrected me on that. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Beyond Weather. Guys, make sure that you follow or subscribe to Beyond Weather. I have to stop saying follow. I know it's subscribe. Subscribe to Beyond Weather. If anyone's from the South or Texas, listen, Texas summers are bad. I used to live there. Okay. Alrighty. So there we go with that. We already showed this. Okay, so they're probably gonna fix this as we head into tonight. Over the next few hours, they're probably gonna update this. This has been the severe weather potential for today. Okay, the threat is low, but it's still possible for portions of Nebraska, okay, and into portions of South Dakota. It's a 2% risk, which is why with that one severe the severe storm threat, severe storm watch that we currently have in effect, it does include the chance of seeing one or two isolated tornadoes, right? We also have a threat in general throughout the day today, right? Or we had throughout the day today and even into tonight, the chance of seeing some large hail, the chance of seeing hail over 1 inch in diameter, which includes this entire area, 5% risk, so it's pretty low. Now, the main risk has been for today, and again, they're probably going to update this while we're live, so I'm going to be watching out for that. Let me make sure I bring that up. Over here, we're talking about the threat of seeing strong winds. So that's really the issue with the severe storms that we're seeing today. We're talking about winds up to 75 miles per hour, particularly in here in the black. So this is going to include Nebraska and South Dakota, mostly a sliver of Kansas, right? Northern Kansas. But yeah, over here, we're talking about with that threat, places like Grand Island, North Platte, right? Rapid City, Pierre as well. All right, now what can we expect as we head into the overnight? So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that right now. Okay, and you're gonna notice on here, and hopefully this doesn't lag as it's loading, but you're gonna notice on here that eventually all of these storms are going to move to the east. So now I'm gonna also show you guys the severe weather threat that we're expecting for tomorrow, in addition to Saturday as well for areas further towards the east. Even if you don't necessarily see severe weather out of this, we are talking about the possibility of seeing flooding rains, storms nonetheless, right? So that's what we're expecting for now, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about it. So let me zoom in first to my people over here where we're actually seeing the storms right now. Right here would be the time, right? So let's move forward into time. So as we head into tonight, these storms are quickly going to move towards the east, right? So by the time that we reach, let's say, midnight, these storms are going to be almost getting to Omaha. For my friend in Iowa, that's kind of close to Omaha. See, I got to shout you out. But we have storms that are going to be moving into places, for example, like Minnesota, the Dakotas, right? Or sorry, I should say eastern portions of the Dakotas. So by that time, places like Fargo could be seeing some rain. But in terms of the severe storms, we're talking about areas, for example, right outside of Omaha at that time. Now we move forward into time. By the time that we get into the overnight hours, so this is, in a few hours from now, this would be 2 a.m. Central Time. Omaha is going to be feeling the storms. Even down here into Kansas, for example, Salina, getting some storms around that time. Some of these storms moving into Minnesota as well, into the overnight hours. And then we're going to push forward a little bit more, let's say around 7 a.m. Central Time. Okay, so 7 a.m. Central Time. Kansas City, the storms would have passed you already by 5 or 6 a.m. and moved on to portions of the state of Missouri, right? So places, for example, like Waterloo and Iowa are going to be dealing with the storms. My friend Carrie, you're going to be with mainly dry conditions by tomorrow morning, but it's really going to be the overnight that's going to be a little bit, more on the treacherous side. And then places like Minneapolis are going to be dealing with the storms as well, and into Wisconsin too. Now, as we move forward, you're going to see here for my people out here in the Great Lakes, in the Midwest, right? The Ohio Valley. Tomorrow, we're going to have storms moving through. So Wisconsin again with the storms, Illinois again with the storms. This would be tomorrow around 1 or 2 p.m. Central Time. Okay. And then as we head into the night, let's pause around 10:45 p.m. Central Time. The Great Lakes again with the storms and the rain, and this is going to stretch down into places, for example, like Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois as well, because this is just a big system that's going to be pushing across the country, right? So by the time that we move into, let's say, Saturday morning, still dealing with some rain back here in Iowa, but in terms of that cold front that's going to be associated with this, that's going to be causing the storms, this is going to stretch all the way down into places, for example, like Tennessee, like Kentucky, right? Over Michigan, we're talking about Ohio as well. This cold front is also going to stretch down here into Texas, into Louisiana with the storms along it. So when we say cold front, like obviously, you think about cooler temperatures, right? But most of the time when these cold fronts come through, we're talking about severe weather that are associated with them. A lot of times that's our main driving factor here in the US when it comes to severe weather. All right. Now, let's say Saturday lunchtime, Ohio's going to be dealing with that, with the storms and the rain, right? Let me zoom in a little bit more. And then we'll go all the way until, let's call it Saturday night, right? Still, this is going to still be making its way towards the east, okay? And then eventually on Sunday, Monday, trying to make it to the East Coast. All right. So with that being said, here's the severe weather threat for tomorrow. So it's not a huge area, so that's the good news. Not a humongous area for tomorrow. We're going with Missouri, portions of Illinois, parts of Iowa, northern portions of Arkansas. So right now it's a lower end threat. It's not anything too crazy. There is a tornado risk associated with this, but it's a lower end risk, kind of like what we're seeing for tonight. It's a 2% chance here in portions of Missouri and portions of Illinois. So we're talking about places, for example, like St. Louis, Columbia in Missouri, Quincy in Illinois. Okay, right outside of Cape Girardeau, for example. So yeah, that's what we're expecting for tomorrow. We also have the chance of seeing some large hail for tomorrow, concentrated in some portions of Missouri, so Columbia, Springfield as well. But the bigger threat, or the more increased threat, I guess you could say, would be for this area for tomorrow. We're talking about the chance of seeing some wind. So once again, the main threat with these severe storms, it's going to be the chance of seeing winds over 60 miles per hour. The good news is that we don't have that black shaded area that we have been seeing over the last few days, with the chance of seeing winds over 75 miles per hour. No, we're talking about 60 mile per hour winds over here. Now, for Saturday, the severe threat is going to move a little bit further towards the south, right? And it's going to encompass portions of Ohio, portions of Indiana, again into Kentucky and Tennessee, kind of like what we were seeing earlier this week. But it's going to stretch down into Alabama. Right now, the threat for Saturday seems to be on the lower end side, right? So it's a marginal risk. That's a level 1 out of 5 risk for seeing some of these severe storms, okay? Evening, everyone. That's what my friend TLM Web 648 is saying. What's going on? Owl on the Prowl. Hello, Jessica. How's it going? I have to leave at 9. Okay, I got you, PQR. Don't worry. So we kind of already spoke about you, though, about the storms that are going to be on the way as we head into the weekend. All right? Right now, we're not expecting anything too severe. I mean, as you can see, this threat is a little bit more towards the south as we head into Saturday instead of areas towards the north, okay? Obviously, could things change? Sure. Now, another thing, obviously, that we're going to be seeing is the threat of seeing some flash flooding. That threat with the storms that we're seeing right now is going to continue as we head into the overnight. For this area here, we're talking about Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri with the storms moving through, the Dakotas, Nebraska, over here into Kansas too. For tomorrow, this is going to naturally move a little bit more towards the east, right? To include portions, for example, of the Great Lakes into the Tennessee Valley. Saturday, this moves even further towards the east here to include portions of the southeast into the Great Lakes as well. So places like Indianapolis, Atlanta are going to be included in that. And then even on Sunday, right here near the Canada-US border in New York, in PA, once again, we're going to be dealing with the chance of seeing some isolated flooding. And that's because we're expecting lots of rain. So from now until Sunday, some spots are going to be seeing 2 to 3 inches of rain with the storms moving through. So even if you don't necessarily get severe weather for some of these areas, we are talking about potentially flooding rains, which is why we continue to have that risk. All right. Now, for my people in the southeast, we kind of have this cold front kind of just like, or stationary front, I guess you could say, because it hasn't moved much. Stationary front just sort of like hanging out over our area. So this is the last few hours, the water vapor imagery. Basically, if I had to draw it on the screen, which I'll go ahead and do right now. Again, my drawing skills aren't good. Right? Generally in that area. Let's just say that because I'm not great at this. But we're talking about a stationary front that's been hanging out. And as it hangs out, and as that system that I just showed you guys moves towards the east, you know, we're going to be dealing with storms and rain over in this area as well. Let me show you guys really quickly what we could expect over here. I'm going to load up. And by the way, I am going to show you guys the severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in effect once again, because we have a couple new ones. So we'll see that in a second. Probably 5 more minutes. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. We had a lot of street flooding in Grand Forks. Yeah, I can imagine with all the rain coming through. So over the next few days, so especially in the afternoon, so let's fast forward to tomorrow afternoon. So the morning starts off cool over here in the southeast, but then you're gonna notice these storms pop up here tomorrow afternoon. So across the southeast, so we're talking Mississippi, Alabama, even even portions of northern Florida. Okay. And that's going to be the case as that system that I just showed you guys. It's going to be bringing severe weather a little bit more towards the north. Storms are going to pop up over here on Saturday for portions of the southeast in Georgia, in portions of Alabama, just because that same front associated with that system is going to be stretching down into the southeast. Okay, so that's what we're expecting. So overnight tonight, potential flash flooding with the rain that we're already seeing here, but it's isolated. Okay, level 1 out of 4 risk. For tomorrow, this is going to continue for this general area. I mean, on Saturday, all of Florida is going to get it. Even me, I live down here by Miami. And then even on Sunday, the threat is going to continue, but mostly we're talking about the panhandle of Florida and the Big Bend area as well. Okay, what's going on, Johnny Melancholy? So, really quickly before we continue here, let me show you guys the brand new severe thunderstorm warnings that we currently have in effect over here. By the way, you guys, please make sure that you do subscribe. It'll help me out so much, I've been, I'm only 7 subscribers away from 2,820, okay? My goals are in increments of 10, as we know. So really quickly, let's look at some of the current severe thunderstorm warnings that we currently have in effect. We will start off, this came out at 7:56, so let's come down here. So, okay, we do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings down here in Florida. This one came out at 7:56 p.m. Central, so that would be 8:56, excuse me, Eastern here in Florida. All right, so this is right near the Big Bend of Florida. And over here, we're talking about Lafayette and Dixie counties until 9:45 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in effect due to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We're talking about Hatch Bend, Fletcher, Guaranto Springs, Fletcher Springs, and Grady that's currently included in this particular severe thunderstorm warning. Now we have another severe thunderstorm warning that also has been issued in portions of Florida, and this was issued at 8:58 p.m. Eastern. So I know the time on the screen is in Central Time. Just add 1 more hour. Over here, we're talking about Columbia, Gilchrist, as well as Suwannee counties in Florida until 10 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning right over here. And I should be able to get up at least some live cams here, because the live cams over there in the Dakotas and stuff is just still pictures, which is okay, but we need, we need something, we need a video. You get me? We need a stream. So with this particular severe thunderstorm warning, we're talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, penny-sized hail. We're talking about impacts to Trenton, Bell, Fort White, Brantford, and Hildreth. This also includes, I'm going to try to say the name of this city. Maybe if I zoom in, it'll come on the screen. It may not. Did it? No. I'm going to try to say the name of this city. Don't make fun of me, okay? Ichetuckney Spring is also included in this particular severe thunderstorm warning, okay? So that's the case for portions of the panhandle of Florida, which we also have that threat of seeing some severe weather right now, obviously. So if I put that up on the screen, I'm going to show you guys. Okay, we had it. It disappeared because 13 minutes ago, the SPC updated the day 1 convective, which maybe they shouldn't have because we still have severe thunderstorm warnings coming out, but that's okay. All right. Let's go to the next and final severe thunderstorm warning before we continue with the forecast here across the country. Let's zoom into this brand new severe thunderstorm warning. By the way, guys, please make sure that you do subscribe. You will help me a lot. I'm only 7 subscribers away from 2,820 subscribers, so listen. It'll help if we get there. It'll help. It'll help a lot. So over here, I believe it should be this one, right? Yeah, this was issued at, I'm going to tell you now. No, so it's not this one. It would be this one? No. Guys, here we go. Okay, that's why I'm confused. This was issued at 8 p.m. Central. I'm just making sure that what I have in text over here lines up with this. So, we're talking with this particular severe thunderstorm warning. We are talking about the following counties in Nebraska: Greeley, Valley, Sherman, and Howard counties in Nebraska until 8:45 p.m. Central Time. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. We're talking about potential impacts right around now in Scotia and also North Lope. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And we're talking about impacts to places like Greeley and Sherman Reservoir Dam around 8:15 p.m. Central Time. We're talking places, for example, like Coatesfield, as well as Walbach. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly too. It's Wolbach. And then Ashland and Elba also with impacts here with this particular severe thunderstorm warning for the storms that are moving in this fashion towards the southeast. And you can see as the radar moves forward into time, all of the warnings lighting up on the screen. Okay. He's so funny. Okay, I got you, PQR. Come back. I got you. Okay. So we spoke about the severe weather. We just gave you guys an update on what we're expecting, right? Really quick, we have to talk about the extreme heat wave that we're dealing with in the West. Okay. So let's go over there really quickly. So we have got a ridge of high pressure that is going to be dominating the weather pattern over the next few days over here. And even the National Weather Service is describing this as an extreme heat wave. Okay, that's not my wording. That is the National Weather Service that has described it in that fashion. Okay, and it's because we're talking about highs that are going to be way above average for this time of year. For tomorrow, we're talking obviously over 100 degrees over here in portions of the desert southwest here, so triple digits. The valleys in California are also going to be in the triple digits here, and this is not the feels like temperature. This is the temperatures that we're going to be feeling in this area. Okay, so obviously we're talking about very dangerous heat over here. If we push this into Saturday, we're talking about some areas, and I saw it earlier, look, right around 120 degrees. I used to live in Vegas, 111. Listen, I'm happy I don't live there anymore. I mean, South Florida's not that much better, to be honest with you, with the heat. It's really not that much better. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It still feels like every time I go outside, I'm in the oven. But listen, it is what it is, okay? So we're talking about, obviously, over here, very hot temperatures that we're going to be dealing with as well. And even for Saturday up here into Montana, into the Dakotas, we're also talking about, for example, portions of this area in the triple digits, right? Or in the high 90s. All right, so it's just going to be ridiculously hot. With that being said, we're talking about 21 potential records that could be broken on Saturday. Las Vegas, Nevada, expecting a high of 115, getting really close to that record of 116. Phoenix, Arizona, 116 is the high that we're expecting when the record is 116. Lancaster, California, 107 when the record is 108. Even Salt Lake City, 105 is what we're expecting when the record is 105. So either tying or getting very close to or potentially breaking some of these records for Saturday. Now, even on Sunday, this is what we're expecting, okay? We are talking about 16 potential records that could be broken on Sunday out here in the West. So in Las Vegas, once again, 115 when the record is 115. So we're expecting a high of 115 when the record is 115. Phoenix, Arizona, 109 when the record is 110. Rapid City, South Dakota, 106 when the record is 103. We're definitely breaking the record there. And in Imperial, California, 118 when the record is 117. We have several heat alerts currently in effect. And this is going to, so over here in the pink, extreme heat advisories over here in portions of the southwestern corner of the country. But obviously over here where it's just hot because it's hot, okay, because it's the summer, we have alerts over here. But this is pretty much a daily occurrence over here in Texas into portions of the southeast. Now, we have to also talk about the wildfire smoke is nasty, can smell now. Speaking of wildfire, I'm going to show you guys really quickly what we're expecting for the Pacific Northwest. There is a wildfire threat as we head into the weekend. It's going to be not great, okay, because we're talking about on Saturday, winds gusting over 30 miles per hour, okay? Most of this area is going to be seeing winds anywhere between 20 to up to 40 miles per hour when it comes to the wind gusts, okay? And then in addition to that, we are talking about very low humidity. So these dew points are going to be low, okay? They're going to be very low. So this is just going to be very, very dry over here as we head into this weekend. That is why for the Pacific Northwest, the chance of seeing some wildfires break out is on the higher end. So we're talking about a critical risk, level 2 out of 3 risk for this upcoming Saturday from Montana into Idaho, into Washington, as well as portions of Oregon as well. And then even on Sunday, this is going to continue, okay? We're talking about a critical fire risk as well from Montana into Wyoming into Idaho once again for this area. In addition to that, guys, we are, for most of this area, we're in some level of drought. So what is that going to tell us? Okay, we have dry brush over here. This is fuel, right? Fuel for these wildfires. So if they do pop off in this area, if the wildfires do pop off in this area, they could spread very rapidly because they're going to have the fuel that it needs, which would be dry brush, right, in this area. Some spots are even in exceptional drought here in Idaho. Okay, so it doesn't surprise me that we have that critical fire risk as we head into this weekend for this area. So we just have to make sure that we are extremely careful. Over here, we already have fire weather watches already in effect for what we're expecting on Saturday, and that's going to be for portions of Oregon into Washington into Idaho into Montana as well. It's gonna be crazy, you guys. It's gonna be very dry and very hot in western portions of the country. By the way, if you're new here, subscribe to me. You know what I mean? If you want. But listen, I'm only 5 subscribers away from 2,820 subscribers now. Thank you guys for subscribing. You guys are amazing. Okay. Now let's come back over here to the storms, all right? Because that's obviously the most active thing we have going on right now. But that was just to give you guys a little taste of what's going on out west, okay? It's hot. It's ridiculously hot. And then also we have the chance of seeing those wildfires, okay? It used to surprise me that North Dakota gets that hot, but me in Ohio is still cool. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The Dakotas have the most extreme weather. In the winter, it's winter. It's like ridiculous blizzard, all type of stuff. And then in the summer, it's summer. It's like extreme summer. It's triple digits over there. You get me? It's a little bit crazy up there, to be honest, because you get the two extremes. I like a place where it's like, you know, there's nothing extreme. We kind of stay kind of at a middle ground, like South Florida, you know? Sometimes it's hotter, sometimes it's cooler. That's what I like. That's what I like. I don't want to be, I mean, what kind of wardrobe do you have to have in your closet? You need to have ready for a blizzard, but also ready for if it's 100 and something degrees outside throughout the year. No. Rather be in South Florida than Iowa with a foot of snow in the winter. Exactly. South Florida, look. I'm not going to lie. We've had some cold winters. I mean, not cold for somebody from Iowa. For you, it's probably like tank top weather. Okay. But we had some times where it was like consistently like in the 30s in the morning, which for us, like you'll turn into a popsicle as soon as you go outside. Everybody forgets life. You know, they forget how to do life. Goat of weather. What's going on, my cousin? Everybody follow Nerd Tex. That is my cousin. Yes, LOL, man. The winter sucks here. Just subscribed and liked. Thank you so much, Donald McKinley 1541. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay. How long have we been live for? 43 minutes. Okay. Thank you guys for subscribing. Now I'm only 4 subscribers away from 2,820. Okay. All right. The good news is we haven't had any new severe thunderstorm warnings other than the ones that I've already shown you guys for the most part, right? Except for maybe this one. Okay. Just kidding. There is one brand new severe thunderstorm warning. All right. So this is right to the north of the I-80. And this is in Nebraska. We're talking about Buffalo and Dawson counties until 8:45 p.m. Am I clicking on the right thing? Here we go. It's this oddly shaped red polygon. I don't even want to say box. Until 8:45 p.m., we have this severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect. We're talking 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail that's going to be possible with this. Impacts around 8:20 p.m. Central Time for Eddyville. All right? So that's what we have for this area. Now we're going to talk about the severe weather threat once again. We have the severe weather watches that are in effect as well. Alrighty. So, with this being said, Mike in Florida, I just came online. Glad to catch the live stream again. What's going on, Mike in Florida? Listen, thank you for joining me. Oh, yeah, that's true. The LT Prod, gotta watch out for the falling iguanas when it gets cold in Florida. That's real. And you know what people do? I'm gonna tell you something. Hold on. People, when it gets really cold over here in South Florida, and the iguanas, they freeze and they don't move, people go and they collect the iguanas. Isn't that crazy? Like, why would you do that? What if it, when the temperature goes back up, it starts moving again? What are you gonna do? Insane. But there's a lot of iguanas here. I've lived in places where, like the last place I lived, there was 3 iguanas that lived right in front of my door. But they don't do anything. They just, they kind of just hang out and like run around for whatever reason. They don't attack you though. No iguanas in Clearwater, really? In South Florida, there's a lot. Okay, brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's zoom over there. Now, this does include portions of the I-80. So this was just issued right now at 8:15 p.m. This is going to include Lincoln and Custer counties in, okay, so this is right outside of North Platte, by the way. So this is going to include Lincoln and Custer counties in Nebraska until 9:15 for the potential of seeing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. We're talking about impacts, for example, to Arnold, Callaway, Brady, Etna, Milldale, Finchville, Lodi, and Vroman. This includes portions of Highway 92 between mile markers 246 and 253. And this also includes portions of I-80 between mile markers 201 and 207. All right. So that's what we're seeing with that last severe thunderstorm warning. Now, here's the activity. If I go ahead and zoom out, this is what we're seeing overall, right? So clusters of storms quickly moving towards the east. We're mostly talking about the Dakotas, Nebraska, and even into Minnesota, and even portions of Iowa. Not too long ago, I think my friend Carrie saw a little bit of rain, okay? Let me see. That's crazy. Do they taste like chicken or what? I heard that they do taste like chicken. I've never tried it. People here, they've eaten some, not everybody, but some people have eaten gator. Some people have eaten iguana. Why would you do that? I don't know. I'm not a fan of eating reptiles. That's not really my thing. By the way, you guys, I'm only 4 subscribers away from 2,820. If you want to subscribe and help me out, that would be amazing. Okay. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning before we continue with the forecast for the next couple of days and into tonight. So this was just issued at 8:17 p.m. Central Time. We're talking about the following counties in Nebraska: Madison, Platte, Antelope, and Boone counties in Nebraska until 9 p.m. Central Time. We've got this severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also penny-sized hail. We're talking about impacts in 2 minutes at 8:20 p.m. in Petersburg, 8:30 p.m. for Albion, Primrose, around 8:35 p.m. Central Time. And we're also talking about potential impacts to a place, for example, like Newman Grove with this severe thunderstorm warning. All right, so let's go back to the bigger picture. Severe storms over here. Hold on, why is this not playing? Here we go. So this is the bigger picture over here. So these storms are obviously going to be moving towards the east. And these storms are eventually going to be moving once again into the Great Lakes, into the Ohio Valley, right? And it's just going to push towards the east. So this is a large-scale storm that is quickly going to be pushing towards the east here. Let me back up really quickly. Let's press play on this. And I think I should be able to bring up some of the fronts here. Fronts, centers. Well, this looks kind of weird. Give me a sec. I'm just trying to see something really quick. Oh, this is a mess. Okay, never mind. Anywho, here are the severe watches that we currently have in effect right now. So we have severe thunderstorm watches in effect in portions of, this would be South Dakota, and portions of Nebraska as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a watch, for example, in Omaha or Sioux City as we head into the overnight hours. All right. And over here, let's go ahead and talk about it. Here in, this was South Dakota, severe thunderstorm watch over here for the potential of seeing 70-mile-per-hour wind gust, 1 inch in diameter hail. And this is going to include Pierre, Phillip, Mobridge, areas right outside of Faith as well, with this particular severe thunderstorm watch. Now, for areas a little bit further towards the south to include portions of the I-90 until 9. And by the way, this first one is in effect until 10 p.m. Central Time. This second one is going to be in effect until 9 p.m. Central Time. We're talking about 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and we're talking about hail 1.5 inches in diameter, potentially for portions of South Dakota, into places, for example, like Rosebud, Martin, Wanbley, Murdo, and White River. Okay? So once again, 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1.5 inches in terms of the size of the hail, the diameter of the hail. Now we have another severe thunderstorm watch right in here. This is for Nebraska. And here we're talking places like O'Neill, Burwell, Broken Bow, North Platte, Curtis as well. And with this particular severe thunderstorm warning, 1.5 inch hail, 75-mile-per-hour winds. Alrighty. And then this is the last severe thunderstorm warning. Now this one does include an isolated tornado risk as we head into tonight. And here we're talking about a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 1 a.m. for 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also 1 inch hail. Okay, so there goes these severe thunderstorm watches currently in effect. Once again, you guys, if you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you want to help me out, we're only 4 subscribers away from 2,820. Gotta remind you guys, you know, you never know. Okay, we have no mesoscale discussions in effect, other than the chance of seeing some pretty heavy rainfall over here. Obviously, with the storms coming through. So, potential for heavy rainfall over here into portions of Minnesota and also portions of South Dakota here. This is going to include places, for example, like Brookings, Pierre, Tracy, Morris, Huron, parts of the I-90 as well. Alrighty, so this is the updated SPC outlook as we head into tonight. Okay, so as we head into tonight, they updated this 30 minutes ago. So this is brand new for us. We're talking about the risk of continuing to see some severe weather right in here. So for my friend saying, as they approach Lincoln in Nebraska, right? Or no, wait, hold on. Lincoln and Omaha metro areas, yes, you do have the chance of seeing that as the storms move in. So you are this general area, including my friend Carrie. Shout out Carrie. I have to shout you out all the time, you know. Here we do still have a slight risk of seeing some severe weather as the storms approach. Okay. So here's the outlook for tonight. This is going to include places like Duluth, Minnesota, Fargo, Bismarck, Sioux Falls, Rapid City, the Omaha area, Kansas City as well, portions of Kansas too. But the bigger risk is right in here in the yellow, right? So Grand Island, North Platte, right, where we're already seeing the watches currently in effect as the storms move across the area. Now, here's the tornado risk as we head into tonight, and that does cover, or this is included in the severe thunderstorm watch that we have in effect. So this is a 2% chance of seeing an isolated tornado. So that's why that watch that I showed you guys has that chance. It lists the chance of seeing an isolated tornado or two. Me Monday, what is that, roller coaster night tonight? Talking about the weather, or what are you talking about? I know you're focused on the severe storms, but we're finally getting decent rain here in Palmetto. My yard plants and palm trees are happy. Listen, yeah, we need the rain down here in South Florida. It's been oddly dry. Wesley, what is that? Is that like what you were trying to tell me, like the pronunciation of a city or something? I already forget. Okay, so with this being said, let's continue. Here's the chance of seeing some, so again, this is updated. So we're talking about the chance of seeing some hail over 1 inch in diameter. There's a 5% chance of that. So we're talking about Pierre, Winner, O'Neill, Grand Island as well. As we head into the overnight, the large hail risk does continue. Now, once again, the main threat into the next few hours and into the overnight as the storms move through is going to be winds. That's really the thing that worries me the most. Okay. So in the brown, it's a 5% chance of seeing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts or more. In the yellow, it's a 15% chance. In this black hatched area, we are talking about the chance of seeing 75-mile-per-hour winds or more right in here. So once again, all these areas are under watches right now. So this is South Dakota, Nebraska as well. Alrighty. And we can go ahead and take a look at what we could expect over the next few hours. And now that we're talking about this, not only are we going to talk about the next few hours, but we're also going to be talking about the next few days as these storms move towards the east and into portions of the Great Lakes, of the Ohio Valley, and for areas a little bit further towards the east. Okay. So let me back this up. It should be almost done loading. By the way, am I, let me see. Okay. Guys, please subscribe, man. Please subscribe. We got to make it to the goal. I'm only 4 subscribers away from my goal. If you want to help me out, can you get me? Okay. So here's the storms that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days here and obviously into the overnight. So first I'm going to zoom in for my people that live over here in the areas that we're already seeing storms. Okay. So we'll focus on this area first. So we'll move forward into time. As we head into the overnight hours, so I'm going to pause on 1 a.m., we're going to have these storms moving into places like Minnesota. Obviously, overnight, they're eventually going to lose a little bit of their gusto, right? And a little bit of their chance of seeing some of these storms being on the severe side, okay? So if I zoom in, right around that time, 1 a.m. Central, they're going to be approaching Omaha. The rest of Nebraska is going to be okay by that time. But yeah, we're talking about storms around Des Moines, up here into Minnesota. We're talking about storms moving into your area as well. So Marshall, Minnesota, Sioux Falls, dealing with those storms too. Once again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a severe thunderstorm watch for these areas. Now I'm going to push forward into time. And then right around 4:30 a.m., we're talking about storms that are going to be stretching from Minnesota into Iowa, into Missouri, and even into Kansas. So at that time, we're talking about Kansas City dealing with some of the storms, Minneapolis getting some storms around that time, even though they may not necessarily be of the severe variety, and then even into Duluth as well. Alrighty, so then we're going to move forward into time a little bit more. So we're going to go in and see what we can expect even into Sunday, okay? Guys, please make sure if you're new here, please subscribe. I will love you forever. I'm only, how many am I away? I'm still 4 subscribers away from 2,820. Y'all hate me that much? No, I'm kidding. Listen, if you want to subscribe, I only need 4. Okay? All right. So that's what we're expecting right around 4:30 a.m. Let's say tomorrow morning you're waking up to go to school, or to take your kids to school or go to work. Here's what we're expecting right around, this would be like 7 a.m. Central Time. Minneapolis dealing with the storms. Cedar Rapids starting to get those storms moving in. Kansas City, a lot of those storms moving out of your area. Okay, Duluth going to be dealing with that rain and those storms. Then we're going to push into, let's say, 10 a.m. Let's say you're already at work at this time. I'm assuming. I don't know. Okay. So Minneapolis is going to have a very rainy day. But by the time that we reach daybreak tomorrow, the chances of seeing severe storms is going to drop, okay, as we head into the afternoon. The severe weather threat is really going to be for areas a little bit further towards the south. So that, look, just so that we can have an idea and you guys could see that in here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on really quickly in terms of the severe weather risk. So for tomorrow, as the storms move over this particular area, they could be severe. We're not really expecting much for places, for example, like Minneapolis or pretty much Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's really going to be into the overnight tonight, where if I back up, you see how these storms move through? Okay? We're talking about the chance that some of these are of the severe variety, particularly down here when we're talking about the overnight hours. So Kansas City, for example, overnight. So Kansas into Nebraska, into Iowa as well. I think they're going to be more of the severe variety there, even though up here in portions of northern Minnesota, and really over here in the green shaded area, we can't really rule that out. Now for tomorrow, let me back up once again so that we can really break this down. I'll go ahead and turn on the day 2, okay? So tomorrow as the storms move through down here, they could be severe. Up here, Wisconsin, Minnesota, we're not really expecting that for tomorrow. All right. But either way, we're talking about very stormy conditions across the area for pretty much all, I don't want to say all, but like cut Minnesota in half. The southern half is going to be dealing with that. Iowa is going to be dealing with storms in general. Maybe southeastern portions of Iowa could be dealing with, you know, the severe variety. Here, Missouri, okay? Missouri into northern Arkansas potentially seeing severe storms as we head into tomorrow. But yeah, tomorrow's just going to be like an ugly day in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And then as we head into Michigan, we're talking about rain and storms there as well. Now, the severe threat really for tomorrow is going to be as we head into the nighttime hours, really. So after the late afternoon. So you're going to notice this here. I'm going to zoom in for my people down here. Look at this. This would be 4 p.m. Central tomorrow. The storms are going to start popping up around that time. So here's 7 p.m. Okay. Some of these storms on the severe side. And then look, into 9 p.m. we're dealing with that. 11 p.m. we're still going to be dealing with that. Okay. And it's really not going to be until after like 3 a.m. that things are going to slow down for you in this particular area with the severe threat. Now up here, so Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin is just going to be a mess into tomorrow. Sorry, into the overnight, right? So then we'll go into Saturday, day 3. As the storms move into this area here, this green shaded area, if I back up, some of them could be severe, but the chance isn't super high as of right now. Can that change? Sure, it can change, all right? So as we head into, this would be Saturday already. Storms move through over here to Kentucky, to Tennessee, to places, for example, like Alabama, Mississippi. In the morning, into the afternoon with some storms. And then I think really in the afternoon, so after like what? These storms start to pop up over here. In the afternoon into the nighttime, then we can really see a bigger severe threat at that time. That's really the main time frame for this area over here. So I'm backing up and I'm moving forward into time with the severe weather threat in this area, okay? So for Saturday, yeah, you're going to have a terrible day over here across Michigan. Okay, I'm going to back up. Saturday's going to stink, okay? So Michigan, you're going to be dealing with that. Ohio, you're going to be, Indiana, Ohio, you're going to be dealing with that all day Saturday. The rain, by the time that we reach the nighttime, moves into New York, into PA, but the severe variety is going to be down here. Okay, guys? So that's what we're expecting over the next few days with the severe weather threat. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm only 2 subscribers away now from 2,820. So, let me back up really quickly. All right, so if I zoom out, we'll see the bigger picture. All right, let's do a recap for my people just joining. Excuse me. So this is for tonight. This is updated for from the SPC. So let's do like a wide view. It's easier to see that way. So tonight, severe storms are going to be possible into the overnight, especially down here near Kansas City. So portions of this would be Kansas, Missouri, a sliver of Iowa, right? Now let's pause right here because right here, now we move into day 2. So that's day 1, which is today. Day 2, it's right here. So yeah, Friday is going to stink for Minnesota, for Wisconsin, and for most of Illinois. And then as we head into the late afternoon over here, I'm expecting severe storms in this area. So here we go. This would be like 3 p.m. We start to get some stuff bubbling up over here. This will be 6 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, Central Time. Storms start to pop up here in Missouri and Arkansas and even into portions over here of Illinois. And look, strong line of storm starts to develop and moves towards the south and east, okay, as we head into the nighttime. Now up here, the storms might not be severe, but you're going to have not the best day. Not a good day to be outdoors over here in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Illinois, and in Indiana, all right? Now we're going to fast forward into Saturday. Let's turn on the SPC outlook for Saturday. Overnight Saturday, obviously some storms are going to be moving over Alabama, over Tennessee, over Kentucky. Up here, just not great with the rain. We move forward into time. Yeah, we'll have an initial line of storms moving through this area down here where the green shaded area is for the risk of severe weather. But yeah, further towards the north, just a messy day in Ohio, for example, and then eventually into Pennsylvania. But down here, the severe weather threat with the instability in the afternoon, there you go with this line of storms. So again, late afternoon into the nighttime as this line of storms moves through. But again, the severe weather threat isn't super high, so that's the good news there for my people in this area. Okay? So that's what we're expecting. Now, we can break down each type here. Let me see. Next weekend I'm going on vacation. Can I have a vacation forecast? Next weekend is, you're saying this weekend or next weekend? Because next weekend, my friend PQR, it's a little bit too far out to give you a forecast. I mean, even past 7 days is already, you know. The LT Prod, like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much. Me Monday, sub and like. Thank you so much. Super El Nino. There's no such thing as a Super El Nino. K-Mac Clubber. But yeah, are we going to be in El Nino phase this year? Yes. Is it going to affect weather across the world? Yes. Hurricane season is going to be a little bit, by the way, hurricane season is my specialty. So if you want to see me live during hurricane season, go ahead and subscribe. But I feel like if we do see anything pop up, it'll be down here in the Gulf during hurricane season. I think that's going to be the best chance because the waters over here are super hot. So, but the shear has obviously been much higher, obviously, which has not allowed a lot of activity yet. It's still early in the season, though. This is not really when we see too much, okay? Saturday looks like a soaker for us here in Michigan. Good, we need it. Yep. Thank you so much, by the way, the LT Prod. You're awesome. Share twice. Perfect. All right. Let's break down each day the severe weather threat. Let's go. So we know for Friday, we already know that this is the area that we're talking about. Now, what are the threats? We already know when it's coming, who it's going to affect. We just went over all that. So what are we expecting? There is a tornado threat, but it's low. And by the way, we haven't had any new alerts yet. So that's the good news. Just special weather statements, which is like not a real severe thunderstorm warning. So if you live in this area right in here, so we're talking Missouri, we're talking Illinois, portions of Iowa as well. 2% chance of seeing a tornado tomorrow. Okay, so Quincy, Columbia, St. Louis, Rolla, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Right in here, Burlington. Is that where Burlington Coat Factory comes from? It might be. I don't know. I have to look it up. So 2% chance of seeing an isolated tornado here. And then also the chance of hail is going to exist over Missouri for tomorrow, for Columbia, Springfield, Joplin, Clinton, Rolla, once again. Hopefully I said that correctly. But the main threat really with the severe weather tomorrow is going to be right in this area here, and it's going to be for strong winds. So that's really the main threat. Not so much the hail and the tornadoes. We're talking winds over 60 miles per hour for this area. That's going to include portions of Arkansas, right outside of Memphis, actually, Tennessee. So Missouri, portions of Iowa, and Illinois. Once again, you know, Springfield, Quincy, St. Louis, places like that. Paragould. Hopefully I said that correctly as well. Now, Saturday, it's a marginal risk. Don't foresee a huge tornado risk with this. It might once again just be winds and hail. But again, things can change, so make sure that you are tuned to the forecast. Okay? And make sure you subscribe so you can get the latest information. Okay, guys? Okay, now I'm only one subscriber away from 2,820. So thank you guys so much. So as we head into tonight, we're obviously with the storms that we're seeing now, that we're gonna continue to see, we're gonna continue to have a flash flood risk, which we already have some flash flood warnings on the board right now. So if you live in this area overnight, isolated threat of seeing some flash flooding here for Minnesota, for the Dakotas, for Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and Kansas. So we're talking Sioux Falls, Omaha, as well as Kansas City. For Friday, this is going to move further towards the east here. We're talking about the chance of seeing isolated flash flooding. Okay. And next weekend, that's fine. If it's too far out, I just want to know if I'm good out there. I hope you have a good night. When will you be live? Yes, go ahead. Thank you so much. Have a good night as well, my friend PQR. Let me see. When will you be live again? Listen, I'm trying to go live as much as I can. We might have to do an upload, but if there's actually something happening like how there is tonight, we can go live. So I'm going to be uploading or going live. I prefer going live, to be honest with you, but yeah. My parents are headed to Destin, Florida, the 6th and the 7th. How's it looking? They'll arrive the 7th. Again, it's a little bit too far out because the 6th, and I can't really tell you anything with like high accuracy because that's over 7 days from now. So the next couple of days, I got you, Carrie. Come back in and I got you. I don't like giving forecasts more than even like 5 days out. I'm already like, this can change. I mean, even what we're expecting for tomorrow can change. You guys saw this week with the severe weather, what we were seeing. That, oh yeah, it's just going to be slight. Then it goes up to enhanced. The risk of severe weather. You get what I'm saying? Flooding in Saginaw Saturday. Yep. There you go. So you do have that chance, PQR, for this upcoming Saturday. Donald McKinley says, good night, everyone, and stay safe out there. Good night and stay safe. You as well, my friend. Okay. I have to take a sip of water, you guys. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Me with my red cup. Again, this is not liquor. It's just water. I'm just too lazy to wash this. Just give me 1 second. We're back. Don't ask me why I didn't take a sip of water on camera. I don't know. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Okay, so here is the flash flood risk. Alrighty. So here's the flash flood risk for, this is, just kidding. So this is for tomorrow. So, by the way, you guys, I'm only one subscriber away from 2,820. So if you want to subscribe. You get what I'm saying? Friday, this is the risk. It's going to include Chicago, Waterloo, Green Bay, Indianapolis, all of Illinois, this entire area that you see on your screen. It's in yellow, it's a level 2 out of 4 risk. In green, it's a level 1 out of 4 risk. Now, as we head into Saturday, this is going to push further towards the east to include parts of the southeast and even up here into the Great Lakes. Once again, slight, so it's a level 2 out of 4 risk of seeing some flash flooding in this area. And then even as we head into Sunday, this is what we're expecting. We're talking about New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, with that chance. My friend in Saginaw, if you're still with me, this includes you as well on Sunday. Sounds good. I'll ask you next week. Okay, sounds good, Carrie. Thank you. And PQR, have a good night. Have a good night, my friend. Be careful with the flash flooding over the weekend. Now, over the next couple of days, we're expecting a couple of spots into Sunday night with 2 to 3 inches of rain in some spots, which explains, obviously, that risk. Now, for my people in the southeast, okay, including myself here in Florida, we have got a front that is just kind of hanging out. It's not doing anything for us, really, other than bringing us some rain, which we do actually need in this area. But in terms of when you hear front, you think, oh, it's going to be colder. No. So basically across this area, we have a front that is going to, or that is continuing to interact with tropical moisture and bring us showers and storms, which is pretty much what we're seeing right now over the area. That's literally right now. Severe, even some severe storms that are popping up down here in this area, which we did have that severe weather risk as we head into, well, throughout the day today, right? I don't know why they removed it. We still have severe weather, but that's fine. That's not for me to judge, right? So, let me bring you guys back. If we take a look at the future radar, we're going to be dealing with storms moving into, let me back up. Let me load the model once again. We're going to be dealing with storms pretty much every afternoon. And then as that system that I just talked about moves towards the East Coast, we're going to be talking about the chance of seeing some flash flooding too. So, by the way, you guys, is the internet okay? Because I just tried to refresh this over here and it wasn't really working well. Let me see. Because sometimes the internet doesn't work well. Okay, it's working. Thank God and the heaven above. So, here we go. So, as we head into tomorrow, storms are going to pop up, especially in the afternoon. And then, yeah, we're going to be dealing with storms across the southeast period, okay, as we head into the weekend. So again, chance of seeing some isolated flash flooding is going to exist as we head into tonight. This is for the overnight hours. So this is going to include Tampa Bay, into Jacksonville, into Orlando as well. Shout out to my cousins if they're still watching. I don't know if they are. Panama City, into Jackson, into Arkansas. Now for tomorrow, this is going to continue for the entire area. Most of Florida is going to be under this threat, to include places like Vero Beach as well. Once again, Jacksonville, all these same areas. And then even on Saturday, so Saturday we're pretty much talking about the entire state of Florida. So I'm gonna be included in that. Georgia as well as Alabama, with Atlanta being included in that slight risk, so that level 2 out of 4 risk. The word slight is a little bit I would say misleading, but yeah. Now, even on Sunday, the chance of seeing some isolated flash flooding is going to continue for the Florida Panhandle, for northern portions of Florida too. All right? That's what we're expecting, my people. Now, look, we got to shout out my people in the West. We're going to talk about the heat and the extreme heat wave that we're going to be dealing with over the next few days. But before we do that, very quickly, I want to show you guys very quickly just some new severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued that I did not have the chance to cover just yet. Let me see. Let's move forward. Okay, brand new severe thunderstorm warning right here. As of 8:38. Okay, it was canceled, so we're good. I don't know why it still comes up on the box here, but apparently it's been canceled according to this situation that I'm seeing over here. Okay, another severe thunderstorm warning. This was issued at 8. Well, both of them were issued at 8:43. Hold on, if I go to this one, zoom. And if I go to this one, okay, this makes sense. So this was issued at 8:43 p.m. I believe it should be this bigger box if I'm not mistaken. Okay, here we go. So severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect until 9:30 p.m. in portions of Nebraska. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Okay, and we're talking about places like Stanton, Humphrey, and Creston seeing impacts in the next couple of minutes at 8:50 p.m. And places, for example, like Lee and Pilger around 9 p.m. are going to be seeing impacts. And in addition to that, places like Clarkson, Wisner, Howells could also be seeing impacts from this. So once again, we're talking 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's the main threat with this particular severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. Now we will go over to the next severe thunderstorm warning that was recently issued, which I believe should be this one. Yes, it is. Strange shape over here. We're talking about Buffalo and Dawson counties in Nebraska until 9:30 p.m. with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also penny-sized hail. We're talking about impacts around Sumner at 8:50 p.m. And this will also include Myler. Yeah, Myler as well. Alrighty. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the situation that we're going to be dealing with. Why is this not coming up anymore? The contour. Oops, that's not what we wanted. Hold on. There we go. But why are we not seeing? Okay, this is just weird. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, so, okay, now it's coming up. Thank God. So, we're talking about an extreme heat wave that's going to be hitting, especially, let's call it the western half of the country. All right. So, the western half of the country is going to be dealing with an extreme heat wave as we head into this weekend, especially, and as we head into the overnight, as we head into Saturday and Sunday, especially. It's going to start tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to start to see it. Okay. But basically, we're talking about high pressured anchored over portions of the southwest, the desert southwest. And because of that, we're going to be talking about very, very hot conditions over the next few days in these areas. And we're talking about record heat that's going to be possible. Okay, so Las Vegas, thank God I don't live there anymore, even though I do actually like Vegas. But we are talking about over 110 degrees. This isn't exact because obviously I'm just clicking on the screen, but the Central Valleys over here in California, everybody's going to be over, most of us over 110, and if not over 100 degrees. And this is going to be for tomorrow, right? So extremely hot for this area. Now, as we head into Saturday, that's when things are really going to get hot. Okay, so we're talking about over 115 degrees, over 110 over here in portions of the Central Valleys here in California, Vegas, near 115. Again, this isn't exact, but some spots, look at this, 120, 115. It's going to be ridiculous, okay? That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Ridiculous temperatures, extreme heat wave that's going to be possible over the next couple of days in this area. Now, with this being said, even in areas a little bit further towards the north, where we're seeing some severe storms right now and where we've been seeing some rain, well, yeah, that high pressure is also going to be affecting you. And we're talking about portions of Montana that are also going to be in the triple digits, even into parts of the Dakotas too. We're talking extreme temperatures, extremely dangerous temperatures in this area. Alrighty, so yeah, it's not looking good. By the way, you guys, I'm only one subscriber away from 2,820. You guys, if you want to help me out, I'm not gonna be mad, you know. Now, with that being said, we have several records that could be broken on Saturday and Sunday. A couple for tomorrow, but it's really going to be Saturday and Sunday. We're talking about over 21 records that could be broken in some of these areas out here out west. So in Vegas, expecting a high of 115 when the record is 116. So getting really close to that record, right? We could even potentially tie that. Okay. So again, this is for Saturday. Phoenix, Arizona, 116 is the expected high when the record is 116. Okay. Lancaster, California, 107 when the record is 108. So getting super close to the record. And even Salt Lake City, Utah, 105 when the record is 105. We are talking about the potential of tying the record. Or if we get to 106, we could potentially break the record. Okay. Now for Sunday, we're talking about 16 potential records that could be broken over the major cities or the major areas here out west, right? Wherever we have an airport, basically, a lot. We're talking about 16 that could be broken in terms of the records for this upcoming Sunday, which would be August 2nd. So Vegas, 115 once again, getting, potentially tying the record of 115 on Sunday. Phoenix, Arizona, 109 is what we're expecting when the record is 110 is 110. Rapid City, South Dakota, expecting a high of 106 when the record is 103. And even Imperial, California, 118 is what we're expecting when the record is 117. So we're definitely breaking the record here in Rapid City. And we could definitely break the record here in Imperial. And over here in Vegas and Phoenix, we're going to be flirting with those records, all right? Because of this, we already do have some extreme heat warnings that are currently in effect. Here in the pink and the orange, we're talking about heat advisories. And even over here in Montana, we're not necessarily used to this heat. We have extreme heat watches already in effect due to what we're expecting as we head into this weekend and as we head into Saturday. So it's going to be extremely hot in this area, which is why it's not surprising that we're expecting that. All right. Now, with this being said, let's go ahead and very quickly talk about what we're expecting in terms of the wind gusts. All right. So we're talking about well, not just the wind gusts, sorry, about the fire weather watch that we're expecting. So not only is it going to be extremely hot over here in the Pacific Northwest, we're talking about the chance of seeing wildfires break out. Why? Because we're talking about very gusty conditions on Saturday. Okay. So most of this area between 25 to 40-mile-per-hour winds that are going to be possible throughout this Saturday. So very gusty conditions. In addition to the dew point being very low. So we're talking about dry conditions over here with these low dew points. So basically it's just going to be dry air. That's what that means when we talk about that. And because of that, we're talking about a fire risk. So for the Pacific Northwest, for this Saturday, we are talking about critical fire risk for portions of Oregon, Washington, Idaho, as well as Montana. Okay, this is going to include, for example, a place like Spokane. And even on Sunday, we're talking about a critical fire risk as well in Montana, in Idaho, and in Wyoming as well. And we're talking about places, for example, like Great Falls, Idaho Falls, as well as Billings with that chance. Okay, so critical fire risk for this area. Now, in addition to the fact that obviously the weather is going to be not great for, the spreading of wildfires, we're also talking about drought conditions here. So that's going to give us that dry brush, right? That's going to give us the fuel that we need for any wildfire that starts to spread very rapidly. It needs fuel. And in this case, that fuel is dry brush. So yeah, across this entire area, so we're talking about Oregon into Washington, Montana, and Idaho, most of those states, we're talking about dry brush in this area, drought conditions, some spots of even Idaho in exceptional drought, which is the highest level. So there you go with the alerts, fire weather watches that are currently in effect already for this area of Montana, Idaho, as well as Washington and Oregon too. Okay, so we went over the information a couple of times, clearly. So yeah, that's what we're expecting out here in the West. Here's what we have right now. No new severe thunderstorm warnings, so that's the good news with the activity that we're seeing out here. Alrighty. So this is going to continue into the overnight once again, just to show you, and just in case if we have any new severe thunderstorm watches. We have a severe thunderstorm watch over here in portions of central Nebraska because of 70-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. This is going to be in effect until 10 p.m. Central Time. Sorry, this isn't Nebraska. This is South Dakota. So that one is going to include Philip, Pierre, for example, Faith as well. Now, for portions of southern South Dakota, we also have a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 p.m. Central for 75-mile-per-hour winds, 1.5-inch hail as well. Martin, Rosebud, Winter, portions of the I-90 are included in this too. For areas a bit further towards the south, so over here we're talking about Nebraska. Severe thunderstorm watch until 9 p.m. over here. We're talking 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Hail 1.5 inches in diameter. Parts of the I-80 are included in this. We're talking places like O'Neill, Bassett, North Platte, Curtis as well. And then over here in areas a bit more towards the east, we have another severe thunderstorm watch. Again, this is for portions of Nebraska. This is going to include Norfolk, places like Columbus, Grand Island, Holdridge, Superior, and Beatrice as well. Hello, sister. Thank you for updates. Blessing from Hopi Reservation. What's going on? What is it? Humpty Bumpty Wa? Hopefully I said your name correctly. Thank you so much for joining. That's so cool. By the way, if you want to subscribe, I'm not going to be mad. I'm only one subscriber away from 2,820. So if anybody wants to help me out, that would be great. So with this particular severe thunderstorm warning, which includes Norfolk, Grand Island, and all these areas, in addition to the 1-inch hail and the 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts, we're also talking about the possibility of seeing isolated tornadoes. So an isolated tornado or two can't be completely ruled out within this particular severe thunderstorm watch. If I'm saying warning, don't listen to me. I mean to say watch, okay? So that's what we have for now. Hopi Reservation, where is that? Let me look it up. Hopi Reservation. Wow, that's so cool. Native American territory in Arizona. That's so cool. That's dope. I'm looking at some pictures. It looks really cool over there. Like the, you know, the surrounding areas. Very nice. Alrighty. Thank you for watching me. That's so cool. Alrighty, so wait, what the heck? So one of them, yeah, it's already, what is it, 8 p.m. Central Time? So just erase some of the information that I said in your head. Sorry, it's already 9 p.m. Central Time. I keep on getting confused because I'm on East Coast time, you guys. So don't listen to me. Okay? So this is the severe thunderstorm watch that is currently in effect right now, which is with the information that I told you, isolated tornadoes, severe gusts up to 75 miles per hour as well, and then up here in South Dakota too. With this severe thunderstorm watch that's not going to end until 10 p.m. Central. Ready? Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. You guys have been amazing. I need to sleep because I have to wake up early tomorrow. Alrighty. So I will see you guys very soon. If something pops off this weekend, we'll be on here. So make sure that you subscribe. I don't think tomorrow's gonna be too bad. But if we don't end up seeing any crazy weather, I'll definitely do, you know, an upload in the next coming days so that covers several days. Alrighty. So once again, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good night. And thank you for joining me today. And if you want to see me again, make sure you subscribe because I might get lost in your little algorithm situation. Okay? And by the way, once again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jessica Fernandez. I'm a meteorologist. I worked on the news for 7 years. As you can see down here, I have a master's degree in meteorology. Okay? This page, I want to make it for everybody, not just weather nerds. That's why I try not to be too technical. Obviously, I'm a little bit spicy. In terms of I'm not like a robotic like news personality. Now I don't work on the news. I can just say whatever. I can just be myself. Sometimes we roast people in the chat. Sometimes we don't. If they're being disrespectful, I gotta roast them or block them. The other day I had to block somebody, but it's fun. We have fun. You know what I'm saying? We joke around. We have fun. Yesterday we were talking about. The other day we were talking about Chick-fil-A. So if you were wondering what a meteorologist was like outside of work, go ahead and follow me because we'll have fun. Okay? Make sure, subscribe. What? I have to stop saying follow. I still think this is like Instagram or something like this. Okay, finally we made it to 2,820 subscribers. Thank you so much. Finally, we made it there. So I think today, I think I earned 13 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to me. All right? Yeah, so if you want to have fun, a different type of weather program, come to this side. Come to Jessica Fernandez TV. Subscribe, follow me, all right? Thank you guys once again for subscribing. I will see you guys in the next video. I will see you guys very soon, all right? Have a great night.